Here we are. It's me with Leo Berghald, the founder and CEO of Zwapgrid, Swedish tech company helping clients with making different platforms connect and talk with each other. Leo is a serial entrepreneur. He has a lot of experience in managing growing organizations in IT and computer software. And Leo, I've seen you described as a very visionary leader with a strong focus on. We can't thank the people who said this about you. Probably true. You have apparently a very strong focus on scalable business and cost control. And I think this, in combination with your experience with remote developers, and I have to say here, full disclosure, Zwapgrid is a client to Be Truth. This really fits with the topic here today. So please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Yes. I've been running software companies for the last 20 years. I founded this company, Zwapgrid, together with a few former colleagues in 2017. So the entire idea with Zwapgrid is to enable businesses and software companies to share data in a smarter and more efficient way through our integration platform. So we work primarily with fast-growing software companies to help them offer our integrations as their own to their customers. And what we do is really demanding in terms of development hours needed to complete these integrations. So from start, we were really convinced that we had to work with an offshore, nearshore team structure. So we basically did the same type of errors that most companies do. We tried to set up teams in Egypt, of all places, and India, and we had massive problems with them until we found Be Truth at an event. And when we settled for them, we hired the first 2 developers, and they took turns in moving to Sweden and stayed with us here for a couple of months to really get to know us, the team, the spirit, the product, and so on. And I would say that timing-wise, it took something like 3 to 5 months before we had the first 2 people up and running. And it's been an amazing journey. I really have to say that. And the work is not done. We still work constantly with tuning and honing procedures, tools, and so on to make this really smooth work. And as this picture is trying to illustrate, we work with today 3 different teams, and we have a combination of local product leads here in Stockholm and developers in Ukraine and a couple of other places as well. And it's working really, really fine for us. And speaking of COVID-19, the structure we had set up was really, really playing well for us, because since we had the daily stand-ups with the video meetings, so what basically changed with COVID was that our team members in Ukraine, they started to work from their home office, and the team members here in Stockholm started to work from their home office. Otherwise, everything was just the same. So it was super smooth for us. And what adds to the mix and for a while confusion was that we went from 8 to 16 developers about this time last year. So we have created sort of one team combined of a number of teams, but one group of people. And most of us have never met physically. So even the people started here in Stockholm, I met them like 3 times in a year. So it's been a crazy year in that sense. And when you look at the working with an offshore, nearshore teams and what we've learned, I would say that the key takeaways is all in. We don't see our teammates as resources, and we're not in it to find cheap resources, but we really strive to make them a part of the team. So So each and every member is crucial to our success, and we've been from start treating everyone as such. And especially now with COVID, the local HR functions in Ukraine has been a key success factor for us, because that person has been able to handle worries, sicknesses, and questions during that time. So we have our own head of people here in Stockholm working with the HR person in Ukraine, and they are together sort of helping each team member to perform in a maximum way. I would say that the frequent daily stand-ups is also super important for our success in this, because it gives everyone a sense of what's happening, who's feeling up, who's feeling down, and what needs to be done now. So that's been really, really good and important for us. And if you're one team working in one location, you can sort of make things work even though the tools are not perfect. But if you're working with the nearshore teams, all the collaboration tools you use, like everything from Slack to Jira and so on, and the build environment is also really important for being successful. So last bullet on this page is that the COVID situation in the world has really showed that it's perfectly fine to work with distant teams and teammates. So as I said, we had the advantage of implemented that work before, but now, as you know, in all companies, this has become so apparent. So this was actually, believe it or not, my last slide. So
last slide. That was fantastic. I love. I think should we call it the success story?
We'll see about that in a few years. It certainly feels like that. Yeah.
Well, I think we have time for a quick question before we take a break.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what was the rough timeline of hiring and getting set up with a dedicated team, and how long did it take to integrate the remote devs in your team?
I would say somewhere between 3 and 5 months, to find them, and we set up a recruiting process. We have set up a series of tests that each team member has performed. So I think it's like 13 tests, and so the structure is there, and the initial start time was more than fair, I would say.
Cool, and they get to work on a very cool product as well, as I understand.
Yeah, but complex, and we're doing the things that most software companies hate, integrations. But the challenge in our world is to build a fantastic platform where it can be smarter, more efficient. Instead of companies building just integrations between system A and B, we can integrate them to our platform, and they can offer their clients 50 integrations. So yeah, it's really cool, and it's happening. So I love my work. I love my colleagues.
I think it's very cool, as a developer myself. So thank you very much, Leo, for coming here and talking and sharing your insights. You are going to stay for the panel discussion. So we're going to return with the panel discussion in about 5 minutes. We're going to take a 5-minute break, a bit shorter than we planned, but we'll be back at 5 minutes past 4 Central European time. So that's in 5 minutes. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening.
See you soon.
See you.
All right. Stopping. Have you